Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is Cyberpunk Red Rising, Episode 9, Smash.
It's the poison to the heart of a sick redemption.
Hey Choombas, this is Big Al down at Big Al's Survival Mega Store. I got some crazy deals going on right now. Crazy Hurricane Assault weapons, only 2,000 eddies. All smart ammo, half off? You'd be stupid not to pull the trigger on that deal. Secondhand cyber hands, 2 for the price of 1. You'll be stunned when you see the price on the Raiden defense weapons. I'm slashing prices on Kendachi mono blades. That's not enough? You fucking crazy. You want bigger? Crazy. You want louder? You want preem defense? You want a tank? I got a Militech ATAVS. Armed with Tsunami Arms Helix assault rifles and Cowboy U-56S grenades. Turn trespassers into kibble with 4,000 kilos of meat grinding action. Get it before the other guy does.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. I am Dan, and I am going to be your keyboard cowboy. I'm joined by...
What's good, fam? Matt here, playing Mizinho, the gang-banging heavy gunner.
Hey folks, this is John, and I am playing Slash Root, the heavy metal wannabe star.
This is Devin, and I'm playing Bugbear, the brawler with just about 2 bolts short of a cyber brain.
And this is Jake, and I'm playing William Pisces, a.k.a. Fish, the antiquarian field researcher smart guy.
A.k.a. can't hit shit with his crossbow.
Cannot hit shit.
Oh, boy. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to go over humanity loss because it's starting to become an issue. It's starting to become a factor, I should say. The players, when they made their characters, started out with a humanity of 60. We kind of just arbitrarily pulled this number together. We're basing this off of both Cyberpunk Red and a little bit of Delta Green in there. And the way it works is as they gain cybernetics, that is a humanity loss because they're replacing themselves with machine parts. And then various things like traumatic physical incidents or mental incidents or long-term mental stress or environmental stress factors, those can cause humanity loss as well. And based on whether it's a smaller event or a more significant graphic event, the dice that they roll to lose humanity can range generally from about a D4 to a D8. So we just wanted to describe that at the top because we have 1 or 2 players that are having some issues and are facing some of the coarser elements here in Cyberpunk.
It's not an issue. It's a factor.
It's
Dan.
a factor. It's a factor. We'll also go over at some point how they can hopefully regain some of their humanity through maybe therapy or just engaging some of the more normal events in their life.
How about
Drugs, sex, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Drugs, man.
Drugs.
Yep. There could be some drugs to level you out, you know?
Just take the edge off, man.
Yeah. And there'll be no bad consequences for that, though.
Not at all.
Good.
Where we left off is the 4 of you have been battling your way through the collapse structure of the Onizuka building that you had made a deal with the Tiger Claws to help remove the iron sights from a defensive position that they were holding. And this is all in hopes of gaining access to what's underneath. Section 6, as it's been called. The four of you are standing in a room together. The sounds of violence are receding from your ears. For a few minutes there, it was automatic weapons followed by explosions, and most of all, the sound of your heartbeats hammering away as you engaged in a violent exchange with a cyber psycho from the iron sights. It sounds like the rain has picked up outside the building, that there's a steady noise, almost like a static, and water dripping through the cracks of this collapsed building has turned into a steady stream. The only light that swims around in this darkness right now is light from Fish's torch. That's for our British listeners. It splashes across the remains of the cyber psycho and the gang member he killed before you even arrived. You've just heard from Ash 9, leader of the Tiger Claws, over the radio. She said to meet in the middle, by the old parking garage, where there's possibly a way down to Section 6. What do you guys do?
Hey, Joom, you preem? Slash kind of shakes Bugbear's shoulder.
Bugbear, he's sitting on the ground in a corner with his arms wrapped around his knees that are pulled up to his chest, and his head is just sunk in. He's like breathing heavily as he comes down from the effects of the Sandevistan. Fatigued.
Devin, what is Bugbear's humanity at?
Bugbear's humanity is at 27.
Of 60.
Of 60.
Okay.
His brain was just in violence mode, his cyber brain. And now it's sort of, he had to like soft reset. And then, the fatigue from the Sandevistan, his adrenal booster, is even more draining.
That chrome dome, man, I haven't really ever seen that up close. He was eating that guy.
It was horrible.
Hey, but we flatlined him, huh? That gonk didn't know it was coming.
More like putting a dog down, putting it out of its misery. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Ash is waiting.
The bodies lie there. Their weapons lie there. And you step out into the hallway. It's dark. You know that it's mined, but you have a three-dimensional rendering, a map that you pulled from the small infantry tank. And you're able to start navigating your way through this partially collapsed building. At one point, you're pretty sure you hear radio chatter and boots moving through another hallway, but no one stops you or confronts you as you follow that map. You step out of the building at one point into a small courtyard, and on the far side is the parking garage. It could have been 10 to 15 stories tall, but now it's about 3. Chunks of cement the size of a house are strewn about the area. Old vehicles lay upside down, having toppled out of the garage when it blew apart. There is a lone tree, a Japanese maple that has grown tall without the landscapers to manage it. It sheds rain over a few benches where staff must have had lunch. The entrance to the garage is where 2 large concrete pieces form, if you can remember from your high school geometry class, a scalene triangle, no equal sides. And you can see standing in the opening one of the gang members you saw earlier, a fresh cut across their face, the blood mixing with the rain as he stands there passively waiting for you.
Hey, Choom, where's your boss?
He puts a hand up and just waves you forward.
Bugbear strides towards him.
It's not far. You cover the distance. The rain feels good. It feels cleansing.
As Bugbear walks through, he takes something out of his pocket and then jams it in his leg. I'm going to take a stim.
Okay. You going to roll some
hit dice.
Hit dice? Go for it. How's everyone else doing?
I was going to say, we all have stims, right?
Yep.
I think Mazzino sees that, isn't marching forward, and it kind of in the shadow before he walks out towards them, jams himself with one.
Okay.
Yeah. Slashes.
If I have
Pretty
two, wait, do we have as many as we have hit dice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he's going to use a couple.
Okay,
Because I
go
got
for it.
8 hit points.
So for those listening, if I don't know if we reviewed this, but basically, yeah, we're using stims as a mechanic for using hit dice to heal,
Correct.
which is standard D&D use your hit dice to heal thing.
Yep. We're just making it cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And it's plus con modifier?
Yeah.
Correct. For each dice you roll.
Oh, that's preem. Whew. Slash tosses the empty endorphin vial into the pot where the tree is. The beautiful tree.
How are you doing on hit points there, old man?
I think I stimmed during the fight.
You did.
I'm at 40.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I think there was a rocket blast at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
As a Slash approaches, he just opens his arms up and he says, "What do you think about that? Wasn't that some Nova shit back there?"
To the gang member?
Yeah.
He shrugs casually, but his mouth kind of smirks at the bravado. He turns and pivots and begins leading you through what normally the first floor of a parking garage is a large open space, but there's all sorts of collapses where the building kind of obscures the view of what would be an unfettered view of this whole area. After a minute or two, you reach a open area that has this sinkhole that's maybe 40 yards across, and around that you can see other people kind of perched on the edge looking down.
As we approach, Slash is making conversation with this guy, even though he's probably not talking back. Says, "How about you? A couple tanks to roll through, a couple squads. How'd you guys do? I didn't hear much fire coming down your way."
Any psychos?
Anything that was here was dealt with. When he says that, and you can see here and there bodies lying in the shadows.
Yeah.
As you arrive at sort of this centralized location, you hear an off-key kind of high pitch of metal on metal scraping. And out of the darkness to the left, you see a pair of glowing yellow cat eyes as Ash9 trails her ripper claws against the side of a long abandoned car. Her hands are covered in blood and gore up to her lower forearms.
Nova.
She brings her hands together in a soft, almost mocking clap. Well done. Thanks to you, we were able to make a flanking attack and take this position. The iron sights, she kind of waves her hand, have retreated.
I'd say so. You should have seen the room that we just came from. It was pasted with cyber psycho guts all over the floors and ceilings.
Where's Section 6?
Her eyes kind of flash for a moment down. We're standing above it.
Bugbear walks over and looks down the hole. Just leaves the conversation to go look.
You're standing on the edge, and from behind you, you hear, but this is as far as you go.
What do you mean? We held up our side of the bargain.
You did, but you see, I called the Baron, the one who sent you here. And his version of events seem very different than what you described. You're not working for him at all.
Or he's lying.
We paid him well enough to know that he's not lying. He also has footage. So,
He was getting paid by the Tiger Claws. Do you know that?
you might want to scratch that. She's Tiger Claws.
Yeah, she's done. I mean, maybe Bugbear says that.
Maybe he does.
She said the Tiger Claws retreated.
No,
Iron Sights.
Yeah,
that's
they're,
right.
they're Tiger
That's right.
Claws.
That's right. Tiger Claw.
If you paid him for his silence, and we don't work for him, then that would mean you paid him for nothing.
It's true.
It would mean he's betrayed you.
and we will deal with him accordingly. But you, four, your motivations are unknown.
And we seem to have a mutual enemy then.
She smiles at this. I recognize that you have done work, that you have honored a deal. But this is above my pay grade to let you down here. She tosses you, Fish, a data stick. It's almost a version or equivalent of a business card. She says, you'll get answers about this place and more if that's what you want. Keep this with you when the time comes. There's a location.
Does it look like any of her people have gone down?
There are people on the far side who are setting up to go down. They're setting up rappelling gear. And it looks like now that they have moved in a larger force to set up both security against any other incursions from the Iron Sights and to mount a expedition down.
We might need to come back here if we do leave.
And why is that?
We need answers too. We're not just here on someone else's behalf.
I give you a weird look when you say that.
Her eyes narrow. Well, she looks kind of down for a second, then back up like she's listening to something on a comm. And then she says, if it were my decision, I would honor our deal. But again, above my pay grade.
And whose decision is it?
Hers. She points at the data clip.
Well, let's hope you chums can hold on to this sinkhole long enough for us to come back, huh?
That is without question.
Hey, and if you need any cleanup business, any help with the Iron Hands, Cyber Psychos, you're looking at them. I mean, Eddie's was notwithstanding, of course.
I see. Well, gentlemen, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have work to do.
Yeah.
My men will see you out. You're gently herded out by one individual, but there are about 6
Lurking.
others in the periphery that you can spot.
I look back at the hole one more time.
You see someone rappelling off a rope down into the darkness.
Well, I think whatever we're looking for is about to get scooped up and sent out.
Bugbear looks agitated. Confused.
There's nothing we can do here.
The 4 of you are led back out of this area towards that main thoroughfare, that road that you parked the old Land Rover on. It's missing all its wheels. No. It is unmolested. And you can see someone retreat kind of from the shadows as you draw near.
Well, that's a surprise. I was expecting you to have to write that one off, old man.
As Slashroot is talking to you, you see one of his eyes start blinking. Slash, you're getting a call.
He steps aside and takes it. Yo, it's Slash. What's up?
It's Sasha. One of the girls recognizes the Aldecado, that man you gave me the picture of.
Oh, yeah.
They come in every Tuesday.
All right. Hey, thanks.
You want me to give her a tip?
Of course.
All right. She hangs up.
Not too much.
Not too much. Hey, we got a tip on that. It was Yuri's picture, right?
Correct. It was Yuri's picture with the
Is she referring to
the Aldecados?
Not
with,
Yuri's.
not Yuri himself.
I think my little birdies got spotted the Aldecados that were hanging out with Yuri at the cage. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
We get in the Land Rover.
Cage.
I open up a box of cassette tapes, put in Metallica, and put it pretty loud, and just start driving.
Oh, what is this?
Which album?
Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning. Perfect.
This is some oldies, huh?
An AV flies by you. It's a
Fish
contrast.
is being pretty quiet. He's just driving, kind of just thinking.
What day is it today?
It is Sunday.
Yeah, she said they come by on Tuesday, so if we want to stake it out,
Hey, can I see that crossbow?
It's like sitting in the back seat. Yeah.
I pick it up and I hold it in both hands and I snap it in half.
For real?
Yeah. And I throw the pieces out the window.
Hey, Bugbear.
Why?
I think that was like an heirloom or something.
No, man, it's garbage. It's bunk.
I'm just looking at you in the rearview mirror.
Hey, Bugbear, you can't just do that, man.
No, he talks good, but that cyber psycho almost tore us up.
Yeah, but we flatlined him, no problem.
No problem.
That happens. Sometimes you get fucked up. Put yourself together, go again.
We went down there to find Section 6. We didn't get that. We got nothing.
I am confused too. I don't understand what happened.
Not now.
I bet there's just eddies on that stick.
Not now. I turn the music up. And I actually look over at Slashroot, thinking he's probably the only one smart enough to realize why I'm saying that.
Yeah, why don't you just think about what you did back there, Bugbear? That's coming out of your cut. How much that thing cost, Fish?
I say a few hundred eddies.
Priceless, so nothing.
So you guys are driving now through this
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
through this old shelled out section of the city. It's a very dangerous section of the city. You think that at least once or twice there are some pot shots at the Land Rover as it kind of rumbles by through Old Town, and you start reaching the areas where restructuring and rebuilding is happening, and pretty soon you're driving across the bridge back over towards the section of town where the cage is.
Once we get across the bridge, I pull over. I leave the music on, but I put the Land Rover in park, and I get out and I quietly just start searching the vehicle for tracking devices and listening devices.
Yeah, I get the point and help him. I'll give you assist.
Yeah. Make some rolls for me.
I got a car because everyone else is.
What kind of
You're
roll?
left. Mazzino's just sitting
I
there
don't
confused.
have a character sheet. Let me.
What do you need?
What do we got? A search?
Security or
Do you have security?
Streetwise,
No.
maybe?
Streetwise survival vehicles. I have vehicles.
So pick security or
Investigation.
investigation. Pick whichever
I
one.
think I've got a crazy
applies.
investigation, right?
You've got a pretty good security too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you're right. But I've got
bonus, yeah.
I got a really good investigation.
Yeah,
It's my
go
high
for it.
skill. And you're assisting, so it's advantage.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm I'm using my vehicle skill base to like show him where what is normal. Even though
18.
18. Okay. You know this vehicle really well. You've worked on it countless times, and you notice that one of the headlamps has a screw missing. And you're usually pretty good about that because otherwise it'll all rattle apart. So you carefully undo one of the front headlamps, and inside that area is a device that you know is for tracking.
Okay.
I'll check on top. Bugbear climbs on top of the vehicle.
I take it out and I show it to Slashroot.
yeah,
and
slash nods.
and I get back in. I keep it
Sure.
with us
Yep.
for now.
Okay.
It's just a tracking device, though, not listening.
Yep.
I turn the music down and I say,
Of course.
"Is there any way to find out?"
Maybe. I got to bring it probably back to my office to tear it apart. But if it stops in the middle of a building, they'll know we pulled it out. I mean, best thing to do is find a car and throw it in the trunk.
Send it somewhere else.
Yeah.
What is it?
Tracking device. Tiger Claws are trying to figure out where we're going, who we're working for, I bet.
More likely, Arasaka is trying to find out where we're going and who we're working for.
Yeah.
As I assume that when we look at that data chip, it's going to be some sort of
Some corporal rat.
corpo rat.
I found a dent on top of the truck. It wasn't me though. And then I shut up for the rest of the
You
ride.
know, Bugbear, eddies are trying to flow out of your cut. Maybe just keep your mouth shut for a little while. Think about what you did, huh?
He's looking out the window.
I have not addressed the broken crossbow. Like I don't know. Like I'm just kind of giving you space because I think Fish is aware
Worried.
that this guy is like on the fucking edge.
Yep. He's
of
also
snapping.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big are you?
Huge.
Yeah.
When Bugbear gets back in, he looks at you and it looks like he totally forgot about the crossbow.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an average sized dude, but his cyber arms like make him appear much bigger. And then he's got
He's like a gorilla.
You know,
like extra long.
I always imagine. Do you ever watch? I didn't watch all of it, but the Umbrella Academy.
no.
Oh, dude, he looks so stupid.
He looks so goofy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like a normal guy, but with giant arms.
Super top heavy,
Yep,
like
yep.
SpongeBob when he has the big inflatable
There you
arms to outlift Larry Lobster.
Slash is just he recorded a couple samples of the Metallica and is just playing it through, trying to put something together.
Yep. You guys rumble on back towards the cage. You have some options now in front of you. The scheduled time on that data chip is 3 days. So that's on Wednesday. And you have some information about the Aldecado possibly coming into the cage on Tuesday. So you definitely have Monday kind of open in your schedules, as it were.
Sketch.
And you have a few other options in terms of the Four Horsemen as well. The research that you kind of made before you decided to go to Section 6. And yeah, the world is your oyster.
And because of that screamer report of Sir Rat's tagging of the building, we're pretty sure now that they're probably all on the loose.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. So and we did previously have like leads on pretty much all of them, right?
You have some a little more concrete than others. One, obviously, you know where Switch used to live. Two, the Aldecado have a working relationship with Yuri. So it's possible there that there's some way to try and find out how to access Yuri through the Aldecado.
Even just to contact him.
Correct. Maybe you need someone whacked. The other two are a little harder because they're so transient. Mr. and Sir Rat. You know that Sir Rat was known to have a place in, I don't have the map in front of me, but I think it was the University District, or at least a lot of his tagging happened around there.
Yeah. It was like a zone that he was in.
And with Mr., you know, he had a fondness for nostalgia, for some of the vintage. He used to go to some of the theaters that played old movies. So you have a few places that you could run down to see if he's not hiding.
Yeah.
In hiding, because a lot of this only is a week or two old. So those two are the harder of the two, probably, just because their living conditions were much harder to pin down.
You know,
So-
if we want to get Sir Rat out of the hole, I mean, how do you get a tagger to come and, you know, represent his turf? You tag over one of his tags.
Or you put up something stupid.
Yeah, something lame on one of his walls. I mean, that's what Sir Rat would do. He'd go around making sure his stuff looked preem, you know? Why it's such a good name in the city. But Mister, I mean, what, we're gonna search every theater in Night City?
Meatbag probably knows where they all are.
Who?
Sorry, you. You have no Chrome.
I shake my head.
I think he's got a fake. I think he's got a tech heart.
I think maybe we should all get some rest. Clear our heads.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you park next to the cage and I'll bring some of my equipment out here and try to check on that tracker. That way it doesn't look weird. It's in the middle of a building, you know?
Sure.
You pull up to the parking lot by the cage. The four of you pile out. It's evening now at this point. There's live music going on. The place is pretty full. Not packed, but it's a good night. Sunday night, a lot of people are still coming out. Night City never sleeps. And the four of you kind of wander into the cage, and the office is available for you, obviously. Are any of you going off in different directions to either get some rest at your own quarters, or where are the four of you going?
Slash grabs a drink from the bar, heads into his office, and pulls out like a data pad and some hacking equipment, like portable hacking equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to go back out to the car and try to figure out that GPS device.
Sure.
What's Bugbear doing?
Bugbear is going to look for some drugs and party.
Very easy to find.
So you just kind of wander off?
Yeah, like
Into the club?
Into the club. Yeah, we pass through sort of the
Hey, kid.
by the bouncer.
Just chill. All right? Kid?
Yeah. I'm
All right.
chill. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
He disappears into the crowd.
Fuck.
After Bugbear and Slashroot leave, I put a hand on Mazzino's shoulder and I say, "What do you make of that one?"
Bugbear,
I nod.
I think I could take him when the time comes, because it's soon. I had a cousin like him once. He wound up like the psycho in the garage.
Well, let's make sure when the time comes, we don't end up like the guy that was getting eaten.
Mazzinio's going to pat his chest and open up his vest, and inside you'll see a couple of grenades in there. I've learned to always be ready.
Do any of you guys carry insurance?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you were talking about earlier
we can
about
afford it.
regaining humanity, seeing a shrink. It's like, I'm not subscribed.
Well, no, there's also, certain security packages that people have in Cyberpunk where you could call upon a cyber psycho squad. You could also call the police. There's a possibility, depending on which district you're in, that they'll show up.
Depends on your police subscription package.
Yeah.
Is that Max Tac? Max Tac is part of the,
Max
the
X is
PD.
Cyber Psychos.
Yep.
Or trauma team.
Yeah, trauma teams will pick you up in medical emergencies, but they're also known to be pretty terrifying fighters, because a lot of times they're picking you up in an
A bad
active
area.
combat zone.
They're private contractors.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I say we should probably keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't get in any trouble tonight. But also, if his brother, Switch, is out there, he might try to contact him.
Yes, I wonder why he didn't know where his brother was. But I need to change, and he's going to hold out his arms, and his clothes are covered in blood and
You're just what? Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm
People give you
out.
a wide berth.
yeah, I should probably change.
Slash, after being in his office for a second, comes back out with a bag and some wires hanging off and a drink, wearing a different outfit.
Yep.
He has a Metallica t-shirt on now. He's dug it out of a bin.
found that?
Yeah.
He really likes it.
I say, why don't we meet up here tomorrow afternoon?
You watch him tonight.
Bugbear?
Yes.
Sure.
The prospect of being in a club all night with the music thumping how old are you?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it sounds
how
very
old is my-
unappealing.
I don't
Is
remember.
he in his 50s, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is.
There's not a spot for that on the character sheet. Yeah, I'll have to listen back. But yeah, he's older. Yeah.
I mean, if you need sleep, I'll be back 2 hours.
I'm sure he'll still be in the club. I don't think he's going to go far.
Q 50 Cent in the club.
And if he needs drugs, I can get him drugs. I'll be back. Slash, see you.
Yeah.
I named some downers that are common on the street. And
Yes.
What are you looking for, Bugbear?
What do you mean? I'm looking for a good time.
What kind of drugs are you looking for?
Like party drugs. He just wants to lose himself in the music. He dances. He cuts a rug. Very energetic.
I'm just gonna. I know poison and drugs. Huh? That's funny. They're under the same.
It's weird. They just split up the good ones and the bad ones. I'm looking for a potion, not a poison. Something like licorice or some silly thing like that. Grease lightning.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some choices.
Yeah. Man, it is really easy to find these here.
there's a vending machine in the corner.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You have the choice between a drug called Smash,
Okay.
one called Blue Glass, and one called Black Lace.
I want the smash.
Okay. Great choice.
Thank you. So it's my favorite, actually.
It's a good choice, especially for this. So, it's cheap, lasts 4
Great.
hours,
Great.
yellow, foamy, and sold in cans. For the duration of the primary effect, the user feels euphoric, loose, happy, and ready to party. In game terms, it gives the user a +2 to the following skills: dance. I don't think we have contortionism, conversation, human
Athletics,
perception, persuasion, and
acrobatics.
acting. And then at the end of the night, I'm going to have you make a little check for me. How about everyone else? I know that
I'm waiting out at the car for Slash Root. I don't go inside.
Slash walks up, like a drink and draped over his shoulder and all that gear.
Did you just have that shirt lying around?
I had to dig it out, but yeah, an oldie but a goodie, right? Hey, do you got any more? Put some music on while.
Sure.
Yeah, man, what that was fucked up, huh?
Bugbear or
I mean,
the whole
everything,
situation?
everything, man. Like, what are we doing?
We need to keep focused on what our actual mission is, which is to collect these 4 individuals.
Seems like a lot of people are interested in what's going on around these 4 individuals.
It's whatever tech they were exposed to down there. I mean, it's rather clear that the iron sights and the tiger claws are proxies for corporations.
And our handler,
Probably willing to sell this information or whatever.
or he's a proxy for a corporation, and so are we by extension.
Whether he's a proxy or just plans on selling it to the highest bidder, it's no different.
I mean, the stuff that he was promised. I'm like walking and talking. I'm laying out equipment and
Sure.
pulling apart the thing.
Yep.
Just chatting.
The back of the Land Rover has like 2 bench seats in it. And so you've kind of opened up the back, which is like a swinging door.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-door vehicle. And you sat down in the back of it and laid everything out on one of the bench seats.
Just
And
chatting.
the 2 of you are talking.
Pulling apart the thing. Yeah, I mean, the things that he was offering us, like the eddies and the favors, who knows? Fixers are generally. I work with fixers. They're level. They'll give you what you promised for the job. But I mean, what he's promising, right? He's got to have connections, and he's got to be in a corpo.
Have you worked for him before, Barca?
No. I mean, I got pointed at him from another fixer, but no. I thought to myself, oh, it sounds too good to be true. But I don't know. I mean, you're in this. You think he's going to come through?
He did the same to me, offered me exactly what he knew it would take to get me on board.
Right.
I think he'll come through as long as he has to.
Yeah. I got a feeling that we're just stuck in the middle of 3 power players. And I mean,
But he clearly has more than just connections. He has inside knowledge. I take out the D12 thing.
Yeah. Did we see that before? Did you show that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we know what it is, right?
Well, we don't really know what it is,
Yeah.
but we know. Yeah,
It
but
has
you know about
effects,
it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to protect
Supposed
you
to.
from the radioactive isotopes that they were
Yeah.
exposed to.
I mean, who knows if that thing even works?
I don't think there's any radiation down there. I think this is.
Did the Tiger Claws look like they were suiting up for hazmat? Not that they would.
You think back on it, no one seemed to be have any sort of rad control, or there weren't any sensors going off.
I mean, the Claws didn't seem like they were too worried about it.
No more than there always is in that part of town.
So what? Is that just some trinket he gave to assuage your concerns there?
No, I think it somehow. I think it neutralizes whatever tech that the four horsemen are using.
Well, why wouldn't you just say that? Why he has to come up with this story about Rad? You think you wouldn't believe it the first time?
I shrug. It's honestly a good question.
There's a power button on it.
But it's like flush. It's very.
I mean, he kept a lot from us. He didn't tell us how long he's been looking for them. He didn't tell us about hacking the Baron's agent.
And they're missing, and he brought us on. So, like, is he the one who hired the four horsemen in the first place?
I think it's possible, or
So then maybe he's Militech then.
I think it's possible that he already caught them and then lost them. And that's
So what is he? Slash is getting frustrated.
you saw the brain dance. I know it's hard to wrap your head around it, but
I just can't believe that's true, man. Like, teleportation. Jim, you really believe that you're going to move through time like that, through space or whatever?
I mean, it's been done on a atomic level.
Yeah, but
Even,
you don't think they just knocked him out, dragged Sir Rat to another building to make it look good? I don't know. Like,
I would agree with you if it weren't for the massive amount of resources that are already being thrown at finding these men.
yeah, I mean, you're right.
Even if we don't believe it's true,
Someone does.
they do. Why make up such an elaborate story if it's in fact some other reason that they want them?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we're against the clock now because it's Arasaka, it's Militech, Biotechnica probably.
If I had to guess as to why he didn't tell us what they are actually capable of and what this does, my best guess would be that it's the edge he has. And he's afraid of another group, Arasaka or whoever he isn't working for, getting their hands on this.
So they just give it to us, tell it some trinket, and if we get caught with it, whatever.
But if not, if he tells us the truth, what's to stop us from just selling it off to someone else?
Yeah. Well, we sell it off to someone else. Man of that resources. We're going to get flatlined real quick.
I nod. Can we trace this signal? Find out who's tracing
I think
us?
I just got into the command line. One sec. Want me to roll computers?
Dan, can I assume we got a short rest between here and
You will, by the end of tonight, have a long rest.
okay, but
Yeah,
while I was waiting for
the
him
drive
to-
was
yeah.
probably 20 minutes or more.
All right.
So, yes, John, roll the computers for me. I think what you're trying to do here is you've plugged it into your computer and you're trying to find the signal that it's broadcasting
Yeah.
and see where it's being pinged to.
Yeah. That's a 24.
The reason that they hid this in the headlight is because of its size.
Yeah.
It is not a small tracking device, and it's big because it's sending a satellite signal.
Oh, Choom, this is this antenna here, that that's for satellite communications. And look here, he brings up the command line. You see all these like text rolling by. Yeah, those coordinates. Yeah, and then that's the location in orbit of the nearest triangulated satellite. This is big money.
Can we find out who owns the satellite?
I can try, but usually that's protected pretty hardcore. Do I get in with the 24? Do I get any indication of anything else besides its satellite?
What kind of questions do you have?
Who owns the satellite is probably the biggest one.
That is a very difficult question to answer. That is almost more of like a bureaucracy role or a finance role.
Yeah, to go like to some government to like whoever maybe even,
and someone might be renting
that.
Time on it too.
Yeah.
It might not even be the company that owns it.
We'll just get a telescope and take a look. It's got to be branded.
Elon Musk is the one.
He's a philanthropist.
If anyone's going to bring around Night City, it's going to be him. What other questions? Is it doing anything besides tracking coordinates?
No.
Just straight tracker.
Yep.
Well, we know the Tiger Claws don't have a satellite in orbit.
Arasaka does.
I'm sure Militech does as well.
Yeah, maybe but
Tiger Claws had an eye on the vehicle the whole time, though.
So if anyone's tracking us, it's them. Or when we rolled in before we made the deal, that's like that timing doesn't really work out.
No, they had someone watching the car. I saw them when we got back. Well, I guess do you got anybody in any kind of records? Like, I know Night City has some sort of traffic control, or maybe even like a space at the space dock. Because there's a spaceship. Like there's a spaceport, right?
There's there's an island called Morrow Island that has regularly scheduled rocket
like
transportation because in Cyberpunk the space kind of colonization is real, specifically the moon. And during one of the corporate wars, the lunar colonies pretty much said, we're done with you guys, with Earth, and have broken off. And they are a pretty substantial organization because one of the things that they can do is chuck boulders at Earth. And so the powers that be on Earth said, okay, you guys can have your own space now, can have your own territory and have a seat at the table. So that's, without getting too far into that realm. Yeah. That's the situation up above.
So Slash says, do you know anyone at the dock, or they must have some information about satellite orbits and who maybe owns it. If there's like an incident or whatever, who to call?
I shake my head. Dan, I do have, I don't know. I don't know how far you want us to go down this rabbit hole.
Yep.
But I do have an ability. What if we use this, which is you find an unconventional way to accomplish a goal. And some of the examples it gives are: find a spring in the desert that's not on a map, find a message on a prison wall that shows the layout of a cell block, find ingredients to make black powder in a storage locker, stuff like that.
I can give you something.
So my thought was, maybe I actually do know someone who is. Did you have something in mind?
Well, here's my thought. I know that you're kind of interested in relics and in sort of the past. So you are familiar with LiDAR. LiDAR is a satellite technology that's used to ping the Earth, to discover ruins, to discover things that are topically covered, but fundamentally on a structural level, you can see them when you use LiDAR technology. So a website that you can go to submit requests for a LiDAR sweep of given areas.
Okay.
It's something that you can actually do in the real world. And that you could put in a request and possibly put in this satellite's information and get something in return in regards to which corporation you'd have to reach out to.
Okay.
Or which organization might give you a message back to say,
You can't do that or whatever.
you can't do that. Or yeah,
I stop at a public terminal and I
It's
say,
probably one in the parking lot or whatever.
it's a
Yep.
long shot, but let's see. And I log in and, go to this website.
What is this, man? Looking for lost artifacts or whatever?
That's precisely what it's used for.
you pretty quickly navigate to the correct page. You submit a request and you get an automated response. And the automated response says that it's out of their normal working hours, but the satellite requested is also a international satellite. It's not American based.
Okay.
What does that mean, man? Arasaka? I mean, it's not Militech, right?
Probably not Militech. Most likely Arasaka. I put in a request. We'll see if I get any information in the morning, but either way, I think we're going to know on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's preem. Hey, can you put in Switch's apartment in that?
I do it, and as I'm doing it, I casually say, "Have you considered hacking Bugbear's agent?"
I mean, no. If he finds out, he's gonna. I mean, you saw what he did to that psycho. I know, man. I know. I see it. Right. I get it. He's losing it a little bit, but he'll chill out, man. He'll party. He'll be right as rain.
Smash cut to
Smash.
to Bugbear. You are raving.
It's bumping.
Yep.
There's a song. It's called Combat Cab Night Parade.
There it is.
And DJ Degree is on tonight. He's playing it.
You are in that kind of peak euphoria. You feel great. You have completely forgotten about the events of the night hours before. And as the night draws on, sweat pouring out of you, you've drank now a few of these cans of Smash.
Just to stay hydrated.
Can you make a check for me? Make a Constitution save for me. Let me know what you get.
Got a 7.
Needed a 15 there, bud.
Okay.
You are now addicted to Smash.
Oh boy, that was fast.
That's right, kids. Smash kills.
The reading of this, and this is from Cyberpunk, so we're kind of mixing and matching, but it says if the user wasn't already addicted to Smash, they are now. And while addicted, you feel a loss of interest in normally enjoyable activities. And you have -2 to let me see the skills here. -2 to performance. And
Yeah, he can't get it up if he doesn't have a Smash.
let's say
Nurse, I'm operating.
perception, performance, persuasion as well. Yeah, it has persuasion in here. It's got dance, conversation, human perception, persuasion, and acting. We'll say -2
Insight.
to persuasion and to
Perception.
Well, insight
Insight.
is human perception.
okay to insight as
Because
well.
human perception
Yep.
is like human.
It says, while addicted to Smash, your GM will occasionally tell you that you will crave more Smash, and you should do your best to roleplay accordingly.
And obviously when I'm on Smash, when I'm high on Smash, I do not have those penalties.
Correct.
To my awesome, great, cool.
So it's performance enhancement.
We'll just keep doing Smash and I'll be fine.
What could go wrong?
Wow,
What
you're
could go
really soaring here, bud. All right. So
it comes out in the morning that there was a dude who's like a known dealer of Smash, and he got into a fight last night, like at the end of the night.
I like it. You have 3 cans on you by the end of the night.
It's crazy. How to get that?
Slash we cut back to the conversation outside.
Cut back to the conversation.
And Slash says, "If you think I need to, I can get him to give it up, and he won't know, man."
I think our best bet at catching Switch is through Bugbear.
Yeah, right. I'll ask him to give it up just to make sure we weren't bugged by Tiger Claws, and and I'll track it.
This job, the whole point of this job is to collect these 4 men. Do you really think Bugbear is planning on doing that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You saw the brain dance. He was close with all 4 of them. I mean, obviously his brother, but he had worked with the other 3 often.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder why Barca would even put him with us.
Right. I mean, you dangle the keys in front of him, I guess, but he's going to realize he's not going to put his brother away,
Unless Barca just expects us to fail, but to lead us to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I was Barca and it was as big of a deal as it seems to be, I'd want us gone.
But you'd want to use us to find them. I look at the tracking device.
Yeah.
Say maybe it wasn't the Tiger Claws that put that in there.
Yeah, maybe. All right, I'll see if I can find him. He must be in there somewhere. Miz rolls up. You come back?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Miz.
Well, good. Any luck?
Yeah, sorta. That thing is a satellite tracker, and we don't really know who's doing it, but it's big money, whatever it is.
Can we sell it?
No, but we better put it on one of these cars so it goes roaming around the city a bit. Here, he tosses it to you. Like, he put it back together and tosses it to you. Find a nice car to shove this in.
Easy.
And heads back into the club to try to find Bugbear.
You see those arms waving above the crowd. And that's where we're going to stop.
Oh, boy.
More questions than answers.
Yeah, a lot of questions. A little bit of PvP coming in. Which is
Thank you for listening to Red Rising, a cyberpunk misadventure. Of course, we are forever grateful if you can leave us a review or, if you have a chance, share our stories with others, whether it's on socials, subreddits, a bullhorn, or a whispered secret. Check out our website for all your burning questions and eager updates. And don't forget, we have a separate D&D podcast because we're super nerds. Our intro music was a Wilhelm Scream. The theme song is Neon Drifter by Antti Martikainen. All scores by Antti Martikainen and Data Soundscapes. Their YouTube channel is Spacewave CR. Check them out. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, hack the planet.
That's nasty.